And he takes off with it. It's a fake. Knocks him over, and he gets in. Well, no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
The Browns drive about to get started. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. On the ground, it's Chubb. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. A second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. 2 minutes even on the clock in the first half of Super Bowl 54. A reminder, coming up at intermission, we'll get highlights of this Super Bowl from Jonathan Coachman and the crew in Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report. On the carry, it's Chubb. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Well, it's an offense. Some drives you have it, some drives you don't. And this one looks like you don't.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, it was 3rd and long. It was screaming for a pass. I think they tried to outguess him there with the running play. They didn't fool him at all.
Went in the wrong direction. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. On the return is Peterson. And spins away. Oh, and now he bowls him over. It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why, looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways. But today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't play well, their team's not going to win. And right now, he's got his team in the lead.
And now they'll look to extend that lead. So that flag. Will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down.
And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Taking it in from 2 yards out as his guys continue to pour it on. And that rushing touchdown is 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. So the halftime show of the Super Bowl abbreviated, ready to go for the second half. The never-tedious halftime show behind us, and now it's back to football as we get going again in Super Bowl 54. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Now Mayfield.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after them now. And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. This is caught inside the 15. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens. Touchdown. Odell Beckham, 57 yards. As his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Tucker now for the extra point. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And, boy, talk about that. Insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more. And is there bad blood here? I mean, go for 2 when you're up that much?
If there wasn't before, there is now. When you do that, you've just announced to everyone, you just don't care about the other side at all. All you care about is what you're doing, and they just want to pile up points.
They did. The Browns drive about to get started. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Antonio Callaway, the intended receiver, but it's going to be 2nd down. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Throwing, Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
How about that, partner? His 2nd sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one, and that's caught inside the 30. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. A big play that time for Cleveland. 58 yards. Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10. And oh my goodness, he loses it again. And it's picked up by the Ravens. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. Past the 20, 10, 5. Well, there you go, from red zone to red zone on that fumble return.
It's amazing how fast things can turn around, isn't it? I mean, it looks like one team's driving, got everything taken care of. All of a sudden, the ball's on the ground or popped in the air, and whoosh, there you go in the other direction. Good job by the defense. You see how they practice that, too. You can tell, coordinated. As soon as they got the ball, everyone turned to block someone and try and help him along the way.
And now set up here in terrific field position. They'll try and push it in with Gurley. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And oh, he takes off with it. It's a fake. And after all that, he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
Partner, that type of a lead, and they're going to fake it from the 15 to try and pick up a 2-point play instead of kicking it through the post. Come on, man. Put that in mothballs. Come on. Come on. Don't do that.
Put that in mothballs?
Yeah, preserve that for it. That's an ancient relic, faking it. I can understand you want to rub it in a little. You fake it when you snapped it from the 3. But from the 15, mothball that bad boy, just like my grandmother had.
Yeah,
in her attic, the stuff she used to preserve.
It smelled terrible. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Again, it's Johnson. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. From the gun, Mayfield. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. It's a big play there for the Browns. 43 yards. Now, look, you're not going to be able to get this all back at once, but that certainly helps.
So you're saying 3 yards in a cloud of dust, not the strategy?
I go aerial attack.
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen. And if you're going to run it, you need to break off big chunks. We just saw a big play right there. They need plenty of those.
And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And again, it's Chubb. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block, it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Mayfield. Here's Higgins out of the right side. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Mayfield looks to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by a South Florida native, Patrick Peterson.
So it's 3rd and long, and you... know this is going to be a pass. So defensively, they're bringing an extra defensive back and just blanket the field. And this is an ill-advised throw right here as it winds up being picked off easily.
And the Ravens taking the field. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. So that'll back him up 5.
Still 1st down.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. From the gun, Jackson. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. 36 yards on the play. Not only another 1st down, that also puts him over 100 yards rushing.
That's not something you see very often in the NFL. We see it more in college, but I think with more of the melding of the college game with quarterbacks, we'll see this a little bit more often in the future.
Now this throw caught left side. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Julio Jones, 50 yards, as his guys continue to pour it on. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in the This game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And that one goes virtually nowhere. Tried to fake extra point, but nothing comes of it.
Let me go ahead and show my age a little.